Hi everyone, I'm April and you're watching the Tangled Cat Speaks, and this is a book edition. So, the last time I was here talking about books, I was talking about this one, that was going to start this one. I have started it and I have finished it. And my goodness, was this a good, quick, interesting story. It is set in two different times, and it's kind of flops between both eras. One was 1974 and the other is the present. Now in 1974, there's this young woman who is dating a musician. You know, he's trying to make it big, and she's also got a stepsister. The stepsister happens to run into this guy that turns out to be, lo and behold, a really famous rock star. And she gets kind of finagles get together in Italy with this rock star and her stepsister and her wannabe famous musician. And so they all four end up at this villa, and there's a fifth guy there who's there for entertainment purposes, chemically speaking. In the present time, it's two best friends, and they are both authors. One is more the self-help style, and the other is more like cozy mystery. And it turns out that the main girl from the 1974 era wrote a book, and that book is found in 19, we're already 2025, April. It's found in the current times by one of the authors, and she decides, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna read this. There's also a big scandal about a murder that happened in that house at the time that in 1974, that group, somebody dies. And so one of these current time authors is very, very intrigued by what happened in the house and by this book that she found written by one of the people that was there when the murder happened. And she's starting to see some connections between the book and the real life story. So it goes back and forth, and oh my gosh, it was just so compelling, and I could not get enough of it. This was so good. And if I wasn't on a book buying ban, I'd definitely be looking at Rachel Hawkins more. Very good. So then I did finally start my next book in the Indigo Tea Shop Mystery Series by Laura Childs. This is Blood Orange Brewing. I am about halfway through. This one has got the Indigo Tea Shop crew catering a community event, and of course somebody drops dead in the middle of the event, and Theodosia, the owner of the tea shop, is called upon by the wife of the victim to look into things for her outside of law enforcement. So that's usually the way that it goes in these little cozy stories. So it's very fast, it's very fun, very light, and very much enjoying it. So let's talk about, I don't have the book here. It's way over there and I don't feel like getting up. But I have that book, the notebook, where I have all of the different years written down, and I'm trying to read books from each year. And within that, I'm also playing sort of a game with myself where I've got all my bookshelves numbered, and I do like a random number generator to help me choose which book to read next. And hopefully it's one of the books that falls in that list of years that I'm trying to fill up. I have also now decided that every month is going to be a theme in addition or along with that random number generator thing. So September for me is going to be science fiction. And I didn't feel like starting a big science fiction series. I've got a few of them, so I thought I'm going to try to get a few of these shorter books done. A while back I went crazy at a local used bookstore, and I found a whole bunch of really thin, older 70s, 80s era science fiction, and I only got standalones, but I did get quite a few. So the one that I picked with the random number generator to go with my sci-fi September and to fill up a year in my list, this one is by Piers Anthony, 1974's Triple Detente. I think that's how you say that. Okay, so we've got 3 different creatures here. We've got a human, an alien, and a whole other species of alien. And now the gist of this book, from what I can tell, is that there are the humans, and one of these aliens have made a truce. It is a very, very tenuous kind of truce. And then this third group of aliens decides to come in and shake things up. So now it's going to be like a 3-way thing. We're going to see, is this going to lead to war? Is this going to lead to enlightenment and let's all just live together in the galaxy, or what? I don't know. It's very short and it looks cool. But I have another Piers Anthony. Rings of Ice. Now this one, what year is this one? I think this also fit in my list. Oh no, it doesn't. This is 1974. So this is a maybe I'll get to it this month, but I've got other science fiction books, but this is on the list of potential. This one is involving a flood. You can kind of see that there. The earth is once again having a catastrophic flood, and we've got this group of people that kind of come together, and then they start thinking maybe we could repopulate the earth. But then one of them is a little suspicious of one of the females because she's a scientist, and they think that maybe she knows a little more about what's going on than she's willing to tell. Because also alongside with this flood, there is a canopy of ice covering the earth, like in the atmosphere kind of thing. So it looks kind of like they're seeing an ice rainbow. So that's why it's called Rings of Ice, because there's this like shell of ice around the earth. So that could be very interesting. And then we're going to take a whole other shift into some science fiction that I think leads more towards comedy. And these are by Ron, I'm not sure if I'm going to say this right, Ron Goulart. We've got Upside Downside, and this is about a man in not the 19s anymore, April. In the future, 2033 is the future here. Let's see, this book was written 1982. This dude, Zach, wakes up one day and finds out that he's been poisoned, and now he's got to find an antidote. I don't know much more than that, but it looks like it's going to be kind of a wild ride. Just based on the cover alone, it looks like it's going to be wild. And then we've got Suicide Inc. And despite its unfortunate title, I think this is going to be more of a mystery, but it looks like it's also going to be funny because, I mean, look at this cover. You've got an iguana dressed in some sort of fancy robe. You've got a werewolf with a cigar and a pistol. And then you've got a buzzard with a knife. This looks like it's going to be very interesting, quite funny, and I'm excited to get to it. And then we've got Hell Quad. Also, again, this looks like it's going to be hilarious because look at these two alligator people with their weapons and their bling. Look at how they're dressed. Look at how they're dressed. They are very fashionable, right down to their masks. So this one looks like solar system secrets have escaped or being sold or somehow stolen, and extra galactic enemies have gotten hold of information they shouldn't, and oh my gosh, what is that going to mean for us? Everything looks fun and quick, and I hope that I can get all 5 of those done this month. If at least 4, if I could do 1 a week, that would be awesome. So we'll talk more about those when I get to them. Let's see. Audiobook. I listened to Hunchback by Sao. I think it's Ishikawa. I'm not sure that I'm getting that name right at all. I'll put it all up here. It was very interesting. It was a short story. It was only a couple of hours long, and it involved a handicapped female in Japan, and I don't remember if they mentioned what exactly it is that she's dealing with physically, like the name of it, but it does make reference to, you know, she gets a lot of congestion in her lungs, so she's got a tracheostomy. She's always got to pump out her lungs and clear it of the phlegm, but she's also got something where her bones are just very, very brittle, and it's called Hunchback because she's just basically collapsing in on herself. And the most interesting thing about that book I found is her view on what it means to be a woman being under constant 24-hour care. She doesn't know what it means to experience sex, and she's kind of fascinated with becoming pregnant. Although obviously her body wouldn't be able to handle that, but in her mind, she's also thinking, well, you know, healthy women all the time get rid of pregnancies, and maybe that's something, since I can't carry a baby to term, maybe that's something that I can do, is to get pregnant and then terminate it. Very dark thought, but it's very interesting, the things that she thinks about in the world that she lives in, because she can't really do other things. I mean, she even talks about, and I found this very, very, very eye-opening to me, because she's like I said, she's got very brittle bones, her body is just very weak, and she can't even hold a book, but she loves to read, and she also loves to write books. But even the weight of a book is too much for, like, she can't even lay back and hold a book, because it would literally, like, if she were to put it on her chest, it would crush her chest. So her insight into audiobooks and having them available, it didn't ever occur to me that would be something necessary, not just something as a convenience for somebody like me, but that is a pleasure, because I can sit down and pick up a physical book, where for her it's necessary. And I don't know, it's just one of those things that it's not that I didn't know, I just think it's something I never really thought about, on how something that me as an able-bodied person would think audiobooks, and they are marketed for people who are just wanting to have another way to enjoy books, as opposed to something necessary for somebody else. Yeah, so it was very interesting, very, very short. Yeah, very, 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 very interesting. And as far as audiobooks, I am going to start another one called Aftertaste. And I think that has something to do with somebody who is able to sense ghosts by taste somehow, and I might be getting that wrong. If I got that wrong, I'm gonna delete it. Anyway, so that's really all that I have going as far as books. I'm still working on my the Case Files of Aldous Vescard on my ebook, the one that's a bunch of short stories. That's just, excuse me, been taking me a little bit of time, just because, like I said, I've been knitting a lot. I've been focused more on knitting, so ebooks are sort of put to the wayside. I've got my physical books and my audiobooks, but the ebooks have kind of been pushed to the side. So I really want to get back to that because I am enjoying those short stories. Oh, and puzzling. I think I showed this. Okay, I'm gonna totally move things. Excuse me. I'm trying to move the box that you all are sitting on, but now you're gonna be way lower. What am I doing? I don't know. I'm doing a puzzle that I had made. I had it made of my Aggie after she passed away. I love her so much. I miss her so much, and I am working on this puzzle. I've got all the border done, and I've got all of this pink done, and let's see, I got a little bit of her face done here. That's about as far as I am into this puzzle, but that's also been taking up my time. So yeah, that's what I'm been up to, and I do want to thank you once again for spending a little bit of time with me while I ramble. I will see you again next time. Bye.